Hello everyone! Welcome back to more Danganronpa. We are here. Let's just...
We are.
We are indeed here. How could you? Lost in thought.
But who is here? I don't know.
We're setting that one. Oh yeah, I forgot! My name is Block Koopa, and I'm here with...
ChampionNBloom.
And...
Arler Glass 67.
I totally forgot about that.
I figured out who we are. Oh, good. I was worried for a second.
Increase time limit for each phase. Okay, that one increases our time limit on each phase.
I'm glad I got a good reaction out
I
of
saw
it.
that one. So this one is during the, I think it's during the,
The rhythm minigame?
The rhythm one, yeah.
What was
I think
the
that's the rhythm one. This one's to any session. Effective during the class trial.
Ah, okay.
It just increases the time limit.
That's helpful.
Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and look through these real quick.
File.
We're not gonna read all of them. I'm just gonna put them all through.
To the head. Sakura
Sakura's
says
account.
that
She says
Chihiro
stuff.
didn't want to join us, and there was a stain in the locker room. Dumbbell has blood on it. Mondo says that she had an inferiority complex. You can't. Okay, cool. Thingy exists. Handbooks exist.
One's
A broken
broken.
handbook exists. That's likely Leon's. Suicide Jack is a thing that exists, and also Bloodlust and stringing people up. Always says that she's been doing well. I don't know. I missed it. You're going too fast.
Yeah, I'm not.
Said they've been switched. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, Chihiro's thing is missing. Oh no. Oh no, he got strung up and got hit in the head. Oh no. There's a stain. Oh no. There's library desk. Oh no.
Oh no.
There's desk lamp. Oh no.
Oh no. Celeste said something.
Oh no, Celeste. Why? I don't know.
That's it.
Alright, cool. Let's do this
I'm
thing.
gonna go ahead and do this.
Oh yeah, let's do this thing too.
Just because I equipped the skill and I don't want to forget in case something happens when you restart.
There. Let's be real though, we're gonna save in like 5 minutes anyway.
Probably.
Less than that, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Should we start a count?
with a
A
basic
countdown?
explanation
I
of
got
the
this.
class trial.
Oh, you're doing it? I was
Your
gonna do it in
votes will
post.
Oh, you can do
determine
that
the
in post, too.
results. If you can figure
Alright,
out
this is the exact
who,
same
then
thing.
I'll
Okay.
punish everyone beside. Okay then. So first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Alright, well, this isn't gonna be very hard, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave us one option.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Objection! No.
According
Not
to
yet.
the file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have
Okay,
been?
Objection.
Did he shoot at that
It
one?
was an iron pipe.
Objection!
Why?
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Where?
Could you not
Where
just
would you
put
get an iron
the
pipe?
doorbell locker room on literally any of those 3 points and it would work?
No, it has to be the last one.
What, really? That's
Yeah, because her thing
Chihiro's
isn't...
fatal injury. It appears
This isn't a
it was
contradiction.
head wound.
I'm not contradicting that.
Okay,
Because that's accurate.
Can
And
we
this
just
is
admire
accurate.
what Sakura? Can we just admire that Sakura's voice sped up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can make it slow down if you wanted. Next time.
Next
Can
time.
we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You
It's fair.
looked at her head wound?
Well, I mean,
Yes! That's so creepy!
it's not that big.
I mean, you have to do it.
I
You
will
have
proceed
to
from
investigate
here.
a murder.
Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
You know?
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite
You would believe that.
For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something helpful.
Genocide Jack, fiendish serial killer.
That was
Did
brutal.
he really kill Chihiro? Alright, we're gonna do the thing. Just because I don't want to have that timer up there anymore. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. This one I'm pretty sure is the noise. If I remember correctly. Yep.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
Get rid of
I'm
those
sure. Case
What hap-
closed.
extra stuff with people chattering in the background, and I have to right-click on it in order to get rid of it, and I get extra seconds.
What makes
And
it
sometimes they block the stuff I'm supposed to shoot at.
There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so
That's probably the one we're supposed to.
genocide.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Well,
Thank you for being
thanks,
useful.
buddy.
Think Byaku showed me in the archive. One look at it, it shows that this is the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Jenna's case closed.
But that,
Why?
well, I mean,
Oh my god!
You see like how I was blocking it, so I had to shoot it out of the way first?
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. it's really fun how it does that.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
what?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind
Casually
of
taking credit
confidential
for it
file
right
that
now.
police
I know,
put
right?
together about the Genocide Jack case.
It's true.
That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The lie of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is
Wait,
the
what'd he
other
say?
characteristic.
Do I even
Don't
wanna
worry
know?
about what he said.
Yeah,
You don't.
Of
Yeah,
course.
you don't want to know.
Of
what he said.
course.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Oh goodness.
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body.
How
Well,
the
that's
victim
the
was
other
positioned.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Well, he didn't beat around the bush on that
No,
one.
you did not in the slightest.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? And I have to do this thing. Sometimes these are a little bit tough because you have to figure out what exactly word they're looking for.
I cannot see that and not immediately think that it's freaking whatchamacallit,
What is it? Yeah, I always got confused with this part.
Like, I know what we're trying to do, but I don't know what word it's trying to make a death for.
Yeah, well,
Okay, it was S.
SC HIFT. No, that is
No. I actually remember
Yeah.
now. Oh, never mind. No, that's it.
Z.
It's a Z, not an. It's a Z, not an S.
Schizo.
Yeah.
Oh, schizophrenia?
Even though it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
understand.
it's not schizophrenia though.
I know.
Okay, whatever.
That's why I was
Genocide
confused.
Jack
Yeah, that
has a
one was kind of
split
weird. You had to,
personality?
I had a hard time figuring that one out.
Yeah, that one is weird.
Huh?
I just kind of had to poke around.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to
always say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The only thing that that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior.
Her behavior changed.
I got it!
Oh yeah, what I was saying earlier is whenever I see the thing fade, whenever there's the Hangman's Gambit, I always think it looks like The World Ends With You.
Yeah, it does.
It's totally.
It really does.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
It is a little bit, actually, now that you mention it, I didn't notice it, but it is a little bit kind of... What's the word? Contradictory, I guess, for lack of a better word, that she didn't do that with Junko getting something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Junko's literally sitting right there on the floor.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
In front of everybody.
I think that's probably just a slip-up.
Yeah, I would assume so. I would say so.
Whoa, is that a dead body? Are you reading it?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. Sorry, I figured it was back. It was dialogue we already read, but we've been rereading dialogue like that anyway.
Yeah.
Spike concerning me, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can't.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even
I feel like this is too easy.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
This guy's horrible.
Yeah, he is.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Dang, this guy's horrible.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. Real quick, I'm gonna save.
And then saving happened.
And then saving happened. Because, I don't think you're ready for this, Nicholas.
Yeah, you're not ready.
I don't think you're ready.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... I warned you, I'm just saying.
Well, hello there.
That is a tongue.
Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
You didn't give quite as good of a reaction as I was hoping.
Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
You didn't give me as good of a reaction as I wanted you to.
I was ready, despite your best insistences.
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Oh my goodness.
Intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes,
Yes.
the world is
Well
composed
said.
of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
That is correct. She is insane. Yes.
Jill,
Huh?
can I ask you
I said that is
a
correct.
question?
She is insane.
Yep.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
I'm half convinced that tongue is fake.
Just kidding again!
Oh my.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but there's something still bothering me.
The fact that we haven't saved in a minute and a half?
Maybe. What she said, I need to get some more details out of all of this. Sure, let's see.
Yeah.
You saw me hovering over that one key. Also, I knew that we were about to do one of these, so...
I didn't. I just said it because I thought it was funny.
Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect
You
any
can
of
shoot
us
the
to
white
believe
too?
it?
Yeah. Oh, it makes
Oh, you lose seconds when you do that. Don't do that anymore.
I forgot.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
There's a distinct lack of scissors.
You killed her.
Yeah? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah. Yeah. So shoot the second statement.
The second one?
Dude, you lost a little health.
Yeah, I think that was from me messing up the
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past
You're talking about this one coming up right here, right?
Yeah, of course. The Wars on
Again,
the slowdown.
A distinct lack of scissors.
Indeed.
There is a distinct lack of scissors.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Jesus!
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Have you see, here you'll see a clear difference.
The victim's fatal injury?
Mm-hmm. For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
More than just one. More than just one.
Died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? Are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other
She was hung,
Genocide Jack
not
cases...
pinned.
Huh?
She was hung, not pinned.
Mm-hmm. All the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference.
What was used to suspend her?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? He used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrist.
An extension cord.
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
More scissors.
More scissors.
Pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
Oh my.
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
My word.
I swear I've heard her voice somewhere before.
Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case.
Alright, I'm gonna save real quick.
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Do you know what the pattern is?
No.
Figure that out.
Young people?
Plain as death. Why, I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly.
There was a pattern surrounding Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't find it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... Huh?
She didn't fit it. It didn't say find, it said fit.
Oh, fit. My bad. I think I figured it out.
Because Chihiro was a girl?
I got it!
Because the other two don't make sense.
Chihiro was a girl?
Indeed.
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases...
Oh, now I know where I know her voice from. This is...
Yep.
Yeah, and that's going through all the names.
I mean, it doesn't help with the names, but you get an idea from the photos.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know any of the names, but yeah.
I didn't.
That's right. The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men. I can't believe I said it. I'm so embarrassed.
The hell is wrong with you?
I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl.
Oh boy.
And the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam.
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
Easier to calling other people that.
Yeah.
Survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, yeah, now I definitely know his voice, because I recognized it from that.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! That's the end of the question anyway!
She's getting really into it.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why
No,
we
not
figured
really.
it had to be the real deal, and not
We have the records available.
Yeah, that's incorrect.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how would I know
There's
about it?
one other person who knew it at the very least.
That's also true. Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack case. Who is it?
The person who's
He's literally the only other.
the person who said that he's been reading the file since he was a kid.
Yes.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Oh, that face makes me uncomfortable.
What's your response?
I
Same.
see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
When you broke off from the group.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree?
I knew there was something else about him knowing where the body was.
It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing.
We didn't know the victim at the time.
He could have surmised considering she was the only person not present.
Okay then.
No, a number of people were not there because only a few people were actually stayed in the dining room after being called by Monokuma. There were a number of people missing, searching for the body.
Yeah, maybe. Huh, yeah. Maybe you're right.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element. I actually don't remember which one this is, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Monokuma file.
Blunt objects.
So, you said
At,
Byakuya was
to-
acting kind of weird. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim
No.
was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
Of course you wouldn't.
Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realize there's a clear contradiction there. But it doesn't make sense how he could have known before we even found it. Okay, I need to make that contradiction clear. Do you understand?
Can we look at the Monokuma file number 2 real quick?
Yes, please. Because there's something I think I pieced together, but...
Victim, time of death was estimated around 2 a.m. Body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. Cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. He was killed instantly. Okay. The fact that it was at 2 a.m.
What are you thinking, Nicholas?
Was the area not supposed to be locked or something? Because it would be in the girls' locker room. Like, how would he be able to get in the first place? Well, no, he would have had the...
So,
he knew
you
that
said
the thing was...
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird.
I don't know, to be honest. Which one do we shoot here?
If you're presented with the
Well-
opportunity to check out the girls' locker, that's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the
don't know
girls'
why it
locker
would be
room.
the
There was no time.
statement
What's so
that the victim was...
So there were only the two
Yes,
statements
no, it's
that were
probably
yellow.
the first one.
There were only the two
Yes,
statements
it's
that were
probably the
yellow.
first.
Huh?
It's probably the first one.
Probably the first
The
one.
first one? Oops.
I'm
Yeah.
honestly not 100% sure, to be perfectly honest.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind
That's
of
more-
weird before we found the
No.
Nope, not that.
Correct.
Maybe something's weird going on. Well, then it's the other one, evidently.
Evidently, it's
Well,
the other
yeah.
one.
So,
Do you know
Yeah.
why?
Byakuya was acting, but he was acting
Other
weird.
than the fact that we wouldn't necessarily have known that was the victim before we found the body, or what?
The victim.
Yeah.
Was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Wait, what?
What?
Wasn't there either?
It must have something to do with the new element that we didn't know about.
So, you
Chance.
said Byakuya was acting kind
Has
of
something to
weird
do with the
before we
element.
found
Oh,
the
you're
body.
probably right.
But he was acting weird.
Are we able to pick a different object? As for weak spots, firing truth bullets, loading a truth bullet,
Quick select.
quick select.
Loaded according to the
True
order.
bullet flashback?
Target a weak spot, then hold down the left button. You can use it as a temporary truth bullet later in the round.
Right. I remember that. I forgot that was in this
The
game. I thought
victim
that was only in the
was
other games.
Chihiro, who was a girl.
So this is like,
So
so
of
that's like
course I would
pressing, isn't it?
There was no
In
time.
Phoenix Journey?
Kind of. Instead of using the, I forgot that was in this
So,
game.
you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting
So now we use this before we found the body.
Oh, we're taking a phrase and using it and turning it into a bullet.
Yeah.
So we're using it as the bullet. I forgot about that. I forgot that was in this game. I thought that was only in the other games.
Yeah. I was weird.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
So that is what I think you were
Okay.
getting
It
at.
claimed
I
that
think
he
that
went
is
to
what
the
you were
girls'
getting at
locker
earlier,
room
right?
first because Chihiro
That
was
he
the
happened,
victim
that he
doesn't
knew that
hold
to
up.
check the girls' locker room 1st, even though we didn't know who the victim
Yeah.
was yet. We just knew that there was a victim.
Yeah. I knew that was it. I just had to figure out how to present it.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
how.
Good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
No, it's not.
But your
You
reasoning
can't just say
is
that
still
it's a
too
weak reasoning.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byaku's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with
What's
it.
the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. think about it. We just talked
Thank you,
about the
Kyoko.
differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there?
Yeah,
What could it be?
That's a good question. What, the fact that she was hung up with an extension cord?
You want me to explain it again?
Yes, please explain it.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right.
Oh my
it
god.
absolutely was.
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously.
Okay, so I think I know what to shoot.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
He's arguing that he's never seen the rope before.
Proof that Byakuya did
You ever
it
seen
is
the
hidden
rope?
within the rope. I guess it's possible, but first, item has to be found like it was used like a rope. But was it actually rope? No, it wasn't. Byakuya didn't use rope. He had a very specific object.
Extension cord.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right. Then there must be
Hey, Byakuya, I've never seen that rope before in my life.
Yeah.
That was an accident.
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away.
Yeah, I meant to right-click first.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right. Then there must be
Hey, Byakuya, I've never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
Yep. That's your little right light, isn't it?
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Yeah, these people didn't look at the body very well.
No.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the
Oh, yeah.
same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even
What's
involved?
wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
What?
Right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you?
You need to calm
I
it.
killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he just said.
The scene of the crime.
I got it!
But what do you think it is
say
about
you
it?
killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right?
Which locker room it was in?
But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing.
Which might explain the reasoning as to why Chihiro is so comfortable around guys and not girls.
What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointment,
was
this
thinking-
is a true letdown.
How would he have gotten into the girls' locker room
Yeah, that's what
in
I was
order to kill
That's
her?
also, Well, easy. He could have taken all those passports.
He knew the passports were in the mailbox.
That's true.
Yeah,
He
and then
was
he hung it.
taking like Junko's or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then he hung it up in the girls' locker room to further blame Toko.
Yeah, because
Okay.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of
It's
the
all
crime
coming
be
together.
anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
There's a couple of pieces.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys and girls' locker room.
There were a couple things that were switched between the boys and the girls' locker room, actually.
Let's go with the poster. First.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile,
Thanks.
the boys'
Thank
locker
you
room
for your input.
Thank you for your input.
a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You
This
know
is where
what
we're
I'm
talking about the
talking
carpet.
about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
Yeah, we have the boys' locker room carpet.
Take
Do
that!
it.
Oh, yeah.
The stain on the girls' locker room carpet
It
wasn't
really is,
scrubbed
it seems
away.
right. Take that!
In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually,
Different Toko,
an
obviously.
even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
That is the question, isn't it?
That is indeed a question.
You have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Real quick.
I feel like I've already pieced together what happens.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Well, let's see what Hiro has to say.
Is it really possible?
Yeah, the broken one is
Chihiro really have gotten into the boys'
not
locker room
hers.
somehow?
No, the broken one was Leon's.
Yeah, it was Leon's.
She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
I mean, yeah,
Sure,
I
that
guess.
would have been no problem for
I
her.
mean,
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
the main hall.
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
That's what we shoot.
She could get into the boys' locker room, no problem.
One problem, it's broken.
Theoretically,
It just won't turn on.
theoretically,
It
if
doesn't
Chihiro,
necessarily mean that the other functions aren't working.
theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. But when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there's no doubt that it was. In which case, can we really say that she used that?
Is it really
That was smart of him, though, to think that.
She must
It
have
was.
Something smart coming from him.
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
So it's really funny listening to them sped up and slowed down.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus,
Same
isn't there
here.
a regulation
Yeah.
against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked us, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst. You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
Let's real quick.
The music changed, that means we need to save.
You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
what?
What are you talking about?
There's still a few ways you can do it.
Well,
I
to
mean-
explain that,
Thievery, again.
Please
now
present
is
it,
kind
please
of
present
thievery.
it.
break from the trial. I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
They still
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Again,
So be-
thievery has still not been discounted.
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold.
Although, I guess everybody would have had theirs on them at all times. So they would have noticed if it disappeared.
We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want us to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Yep.
Yeah, when did you figure it out?
I can't place when, but when the minute they mentioned that she was more comfortable around boys than girls.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything. It's just based on religious grounds, you know?
very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action?
Oh my god.
Shut up!
Going around.
Okay.
Both Nicholas and I gave the same reaction.
I'm sorry, Chihiro.
And I just
Please
facepalmed.
excuse
Yeah.
the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
Oh
What is
my
it?
goodness.
Not
Ultra
possible.
flex.
It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
Is what?
They're
a
trying to do-
boy.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he.
He sounds very not surprised right now.
Thank
I
you
know,
for
right?
confirming this fact.
There.
Yeah, it is.
Is that what you figured?
Joke about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
I'm so happy I was right.
Yeah.
It's really true?
It was really weird when I figured that out. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
So remember, when I was saying like episode 1, when I was like, who
Which one of
does
us is
male
doing the
voices,
males
does
and which
female voices? I actually had to write a note on my phone and show it to Chance so I could ask quietly, what do we do about Chihiro?
And I was just like, we're just pretending she's a guy.
Yeah, or just pretending it's a girl.
I mean, a girl,
What,
rather.
you guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Ooh.
Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Is it the save screen?
It is
That's the
safe
word.
We've all
Save,
just
that's the
learned
word.
of the shocking
The other word of the
revelation
day
that
is save.
Chihiro was actually a boy.
Yep.
Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never even crossed my
And
mind.
because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but
Yeah, I mean, that would
yes,
make sense
that does
why,
seem plausible.
why
Well,
he now
I must
seemed
admit
so,
that I did find it rather odd.
evasive in trying to, take up, Hina and Sakura's,
Yep.
offer
Proposal.
or their offer for exercising with them,
Yeah.
and why
Yep.
he felt the need to do it at night when everybody was looking.
Yep.
I
Yep.
knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is a most titillating situation!
So now everything
Thank you for your
has
input.
been connected. All the mysteries have finally become
Well, except for the one who did it.
Okay, well,
You're missing one very
connected
clear
or
one.
Well, yeah,
clear
that
or
is a
whatever. We still think
Yeah,
you're
that's
the
what-
killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become
I feel like he's so
very
confident because the
interesting.
thought of losing has not crossed his mind yet.
Yeah.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he Jackie might not actually be the killer after all.
What?
But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I
I
see it.
knew this felt a little too open and shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Byakuya.
Well,
When
first you
found
said
out
it
the
seemed
murder
too
took
open and
place in the
shut that
boys'
it was
locker room,
Genocide Jack.
it seemed to rattle you.
Yeah.
And
But I
then
also
again,
felt
when
it
you
was a
found
little
out
too open and
Chihiro
shut for
was
him,
actually the
too.
guy.
Yeah.
If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on me.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as
Fine.
correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit.
Real quick.
I mean, well, you say that.
I
He
just
just did that to make things
the
every...
corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
The thing I hate about that phrase, that's just what the culprit would say. Or
Like, it's
that-
also what the.
well, yeah, but that's also what someone who's not the culprit would say. Both the culprit and the non-culprit would say that they're not the culprit.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
Saying that's just what the that's just what the culprit would say does not help the situation.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I'm just joking.
Except for Byakuya, who just kind of wants to die, apparently.
Yeah,
No,
he's
I am
asking to be killed.
effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
I'm glad he's the same swear version that we do.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My
I did it for the
reasons
walls.
hardly matter right now.
I did it for the vine.
Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking
I
about
think, I
it.
guess he wanted to make it more interesting.
Seriously,
I
gotta
guess.
keep going?
Yeah, that's
what I
my
was
theory.
That's what I was thinking.
You just wanted to add extra layers.
No, I'm with Makoto.
He's just creating problems on
There's no
purpose.
doubt whatsoever. We need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true.
Well,
Very
for the
well.
person who did it.
I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in. Do you not have a mind of your own? Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
It's not hide and seek.
I feel like my initial assumption is correct, and I don't want it to be.
What?
Hmm.
What?
I'll save that for when it gets revealed.
Okay.
Okay. Because I am kind of curious as to who you think it is, just like for each case, before the trial starts, but after the investigation. But we'll get to that.
Like before all the Genocide Jack stuff, I had my thoughts on this person.
Okay, fair enough. We'll figure it out then.
And since all that was just rendered useless, then I'm just gonna go with my original assumption.
Okay, fair enough.
And if that's correct, I'm going to be very upset.
Okay. There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means...
The killer is the guy.
I got it!
The scene of... Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues.
And so they go into the spinning.
Spinning!
Wait, what was Celeste's account? Oh, the
Celeste's
account.
account.
There a single
The duffel bag.
that might lead us
The duffel
to
bag,
who
yep.
did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
But keep in mind,
sure if someone saw the
we also
killer,
have the new
they
thing where
would've
we can
said
scan
something
other
by now.
things.
Yeah, I know.
So this
Saw the
doesn't
victim
necessarily
at some
have to be the
point.
bullet we use.
Even that might be enough
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like
I think that's what we should with Celeste
Yeah, I
account.
think that.
Game
Yeah.
over, man. Game over.
Freaking aliens.
Game over, man.
It was.
Game over, man.
No, as a matter of fact, there is an eyewitness account regarding Chihiro.
We actually just watched
has
that
more
movie like a week and a half ago.
Isn't there a single clue that might
I'd
lead
say
us
it's like
to
maybe
who
2 or
did
3
it?
weeks ago.
Well, if nobody can... I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
It's over. You want to know who saw the killer? No, that's wrong.
What's wrong?
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever. Just hurry up and tell us.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse.
With a knife. What?
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a double bag. But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Oh yeah, well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry. It voiced that line last time, so I was
Yeah.
voice it this time.
Yeah.
But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing
I think you
to
have
risk
it.
his secret
I think you might know who it is.
No!
Friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
I mean, I do, yeah, because I've already played it.
Who is it?
And I do because I think I've put everything together.
The track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. I'm pretty sure at this point I didn't know. But this is the point.
I think I know, but I want to be wrong.
And so I had to figure it out with this.
First of all,
and then
we
I
know
finally
where
figured
Chihiro
it
was
out.
headed.
I'm not gonna lie,
He was
I
on
only
his
know
way to go
because
exercise.
I was
So
Otherwise,
let's see.
otherwise we probably wouldn't.
Why did
Otherwise,
you
we
choose
probably would
the
have.
Otherwise, I would
specific
probably have no
tracksuit that you
idea.
did?
Yeah.
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. This exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I
Thanks,
got it
buddy.
from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
Did it?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right?
Did it?
What he just said without even realizing it?
Oh yeah.
Did you?
I caught that. Yes, I did. I was just trying to figure out how to catch him doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
It's the fact that he knew that he took a blue tracksuit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mondo, no!
First of all,
Yep.
you know where Chihiro was headed.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something where I
He
had
was
to
on
take
his
another
way to
person's
go
statement.
exercise.
Yeah, I was thinking about how to do this.
Choose this
What do you mean, the specific
I got it! It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue
Yeah, shoot
tracksuit
that.
as him?
Yeah, this is the point where I actually did not catch it, and that was where I figured it out that it was him.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
I saw him stuffing a drag jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
she never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance.
I don't like the way that her tongue
I
moves.
just happened to see it
Yeah.
last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
It was in a duffel
She
bag.
stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your
Pink Journey in a nutshell.
I
One
was
big
gonna
bluff.
say she just turned into Phoenix Wright.
From the
Yeah.
documents. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them
I'm
on
just
edge.
picturing Phoenix Wright's super smug,
Yes.
like,
That's right.
he's like got his
However-
chest puffed up and is looking down.
Yep.
Like, I got
Mondo
that
was
one.
my target
Just in
all
my head
along.
now.
I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
And this is something I noticed when he said it. This is at the beginning when we found the body, or I think it was at the beginning of the investigation. I caught that he said it, but I didn't think of anything of it. I just thought it was a weird thing to say, but I didn't actually catch.
Yeah, I noticed it too.
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. That guy's a jerk.
Which is it?
He punched me across the room earlier.
I don't think I caught what you guys caught.
Uh-huh.
So it was The way he talked?
There was
No.
a certain turning point that ticked them
Oh,
off.
I was right.
Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls,
Yeah.
it's chick.
Yep.
And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I
Because I
caught
used
it,
that- 'cause I used
but I
it-
just thought it was funny that he called her dude. I just thought it was
I
funny.
used dude gender neutrally, so
Yeah,
that's
but
why
he
I didn't
doesn't.
pick up on
Yeah.
it.
Well, I use guy gender neutral.
Yeah, but Mondo hadn't been doing that.
But
this
he
whole
had-
time. The whole time he had been referring to the girl's chick and the guy's dude.
Yeah.
Notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
Whatever happened to your promises, Mondo?
You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of lead.
So when did you start suspecting him? Nicholas.
The minute it was Chihiro that was murdered.
Why?
Wow, really?
Why?
Because Mondo was the one that seemed the closest.
Okay.
Almost overprotective.
Okay. And so
He
you
would
thought
have the
that
most
was just gonna be how the
he-
game was gonna do the twist?
No, it was just going to be that he would have the most opportunities to pull it off.
Oh, okay. That was like an act or something? But that it was like an act or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
My time has nearly come.
Why?
I don't like that other
My
voice.
friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Oh yeah, about that.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to
Her
be
tongue is almost touching her hair. That makes me upset.
found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Delicious.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... It's mine!
It's Chihiro's. It's Chihiro's. This Chihiro's was
You missed what I
missing.
said, Nicholas.
You know Chihiro's hand.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh,
Right,
scene
I
in the
missed it.
crime,
I
right?
said, delicious unshowered hair. Because remember, that was one of the things she said, was that she hadn't showered yet.
Yeah.
That was a little while ago, but
Yeah, so she probably did.
the audio was also saying that she needs to go take a bath.
Yeah, but I think she probably did at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
We can't break them.
Well, there's some secret way to break them.
Yeah.
I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Oh, wow!
Dang.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
He seems so unfazed by that
I
burn.
know, right? That was a burn.
That was a sick burn.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't smashed.
The target
because
of the
I
big
think they
part.
already
It's because the two of them have the same color scheme going.
Yeah, the black and the white,
The black and white with the red.
with a little bit of red. It's true.
I hit it at 3 points.
Hitting is weak
3
point.
point.
I got
Yep.
You
You can't hack it. You can't.
already
There are no bugs that we know of.
didn't you?
Well, you only told Makoto and Byakuya, but you know, whatever.
Very close before, yeah.
Of course he remembers that.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
We want to break each
Well,
other.
I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
There it is.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees.
Yep.
Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's
Mondo!
because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say
Mondo,
it's
show
not
us your handbook.
possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know.
Show us
of
your
anyone
handbook
who
and show
took
us
their
that and
handbook
explain to
into
us
the
why it says
sauna.
Leon Quad on it.
I might know someone who did.
Huh?
Mondo is the only one wearing.
I said, show us your handbook and explain to us why it says Leon Kawada on it.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook.
Real quick.
Changed, which means you got saved.
Well, I was thinking I was just not gonna save anymore, but there's enough more.
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna?
Mondo, she's the only one who tried wearing all the clothes.
It was definitely
Sayaka,
it was
right?
Sayaka, 100%.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say the guy who had the towel on, joking on.
Yeah.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
It was actually really cool how this case worked out, because I didn't suspect him for a moment. The entire case, up until this point, was centered around Byakuya and Toko, and it felt like everyone else was kind of not suspicious. Like, equally not suspicious.
Yeah.
And
As
so
soon as
I did not pick him out of that, other than the fact that it was... I noticed that it was weird because he seemed to be close to her, him, now that we know.
Yep.
But I didn't think that that meant that he was guilty. I just figured that it was interesting, and I didn't notice it. But then
I noticed the word "dude" and that they were particular.
I noticed the word "dude" and I thought that it was just kind of a silly, weird thing to say. But then I caught onto it then, and
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest.
and
in
then
the sauna not too long
when he
ago.
said the blue jacket
Remember?
instead, but we didn't know that it was blue. That's when it started actually getting
And for
suspicious
the
of him.
contest,
I mean, that was
Mondo
the point
just
where
so
actually we
happened
were
to
really
keep his
supposed
school
to get
uniform
something,
on.
but you know.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on.
would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid
Yeah,
proof.
it's his bro.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found
I don't want
something
to
that
either.
proves it beyond a
I
shadow of a
really
doubt.
like Mondo.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh great, 3 bullets.
Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct,
Let's just
then
read everything
Mondo,
first.
You broke your own handbook.
Yep.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm sure
The
Mondo's hand.
voices in the background of this music makes me think of Jet Set Radio.
Then maybe that will show the handbook Mondo has must actually be.
Let's
Let's go
Chihiro's.
and look at the text of all of the things real quick. The card reader was one of them.
Card reader?
The male card book to get in and female for girls. It's not possible to do clumsy in time. Basically, lending is violation of school regulations. We didn't use that piece of evidence the entire time.
Oh wait, no, not that one. This one.
Yeah, there's usually some
Animals.
evidence that never gets used.
That happens sometimes, I think.
So it is assumed that the broken
Sorry.
handbook is Leon's. However, Moon claims very unlikely Leon's handbook would have broke. Why did he claim that? Okay.
Wait, what was the third?
The other one was Chihiro's handbook.
Oh right.
if what he says
Chihiro's handbook was not found in her corpse and his parent was missing. So are we thinking? What are we thinking it is? Keep in mind that we can also scan other things
If
to
Mondo's
use.
handbook is actually broken,
I'm trying to think about that. Like, would that work?
what Makoto said is
There's
right.
only one later thing and one other
Goddamn
thing.
handbook works just fine.
See?
Works
Look!
just fine.
Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
What were the earlier statements that we could take?
The earlier statement was,
if what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
this is tricky.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook
Yeah, those are the
is
only two
actually
statements, I think.
broken, then that proves
Yeah, those are literally the only two.
Yeah, those
And
are
I
the
need to
only
figure,
two.
we need to figure out how to play with
I
it.
assume you have to shoot this one with broken
Just
handbook.
fine.
That's my guess.
Huh?
That one with broken
See?
handbook.
Look!
Him saying his work
Makoto
is
was
fine.
wrong after
You shoot
all!
that with broken handbook.
Do you want to try that?
Mondo wouldn't
That's
hurt
my
a
guess.
fly!
What are the 3 bullets that we have?
Chihiro's, broken handbook,
broken,
and card reader.
and card. I don't think it's card reader. I don't think it's Chihiro's. I think it's the broken one. Because the broken
Okay.
one is saying that it's too
Could we-
Leon, but Pokemon who
Could-
says
What
otherwise.
he says is
Could we,
correct.
could we have him prove that by having him hold his handbook up to the card reader?
In other words,
Maybe his isn't completely broken.
is actually broken,
That's not what
then
I'm.
that proves that
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Where do we want to use it?
See?
We can always.
Makoto
We have
was
multiple
wrong
tries.
after all! Mondo wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt a fly!
My vote is using the broken e-handbook on the word works just fine. That's
Okay,
my vote.
we'll try that.
Let's test if what
You
he
okay with
said
that?
Let's go with
is
that
your
first.
own handbook.
Let's go with that first, since that was my first assumption.
Proves
Well, my goddamn handbook works just.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was it. Frick.
I thought so.
I thought that's what it was too, but I honestly didn't remember for sure.
The handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took.
Oh, yeah, because the display name changes and nothing else.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right. The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
Ah, I caught it
So
now.
then, the broken handbook in the
Yep.
main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your
Nope.
handbook is prohibited?
Well,
Nope, because he stole it.
look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student. But
That's
if
not
they're
why
dead,
I would say
they're
it.
not a student. It's kind of a a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes
I would
things
say
more
that he
interesting.
took it. It's not. You didn't borrow
As
it.
such,
It wasn't
I
loaned to him.
decree
He took
that
it.
exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on,
Did you talk
tell
about
him
my
he's
mom like
wrong.
that?
You
What's
are
wrong, bro?
You have to be wrong.
You mad, bro?
Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
We could do the thing. Let me say it beforehand.
Can he not just press the power button and hold it up to everybody, and if it says Leon
That
Colada,
way,
then
everything will become clear.
Yeah.
And we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
But then we get to gotta do the climactic reenactment.
Fine.
Closing
Oh,
argument.
right. Oh,
Alright.
this thing again.
Act 1.
Oh, okay.
I need to look closer at the icons.
Yeah, I need to as well. So Celeste notices something. Most likely the thing.
The
Oh,
duffel
there
bag.
it is.
There it
Duffel
is.
bag with
Yep.
it. Yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
She stuffs it in, runs off to the boys. Oh gosh,
Yep.
there's two right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, obviously she enters the boys' locker room.
Mm-hmm. I think it is that. What's that? The red one in the middle.
Looks like handbook dropping.
Ah.
Yep.
I suppose it would be the one holding up the handbook to the door. Or no, would it be? I would assume it's the
Oh yeah.
holding the thing that says in, and then him walking into the boys' room. So that one right there. That's what I would think.
Yep.
Holding up to the word that
yeah.
says in,
Yeah. And then Chihiro
and then
walking
Jiro
in.
walking in.
This one?
Yep.
Because that's where they found Mondo.
Okay.
Hi. And then he's putting the duffel bag away into the locker room. And then scroll to the next page real quick. I want to see what's next on the next page. Oh, and then there's a thing holding up. Okay. Fair enough. But why would he have known to... Oh, no, that Yakuyo is the one who strung it up. I don't know why he strung it up.
That one. The
one
wait,
where
no.
he's lifting up the thing.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Because then now he's holding it, gets behind,
Yep.
smack.
Blood stained on
Either
the dumbbell.
There's a blood stain on the dumbbell. What else do we have?
No, wait, no, he hasn't dropped it yet.
Yeah, what else do we have in here?
Yeah, but this is after. This
We
is
got-
after this because it goes
Blood,
right to
yeah,
left.
but it looks like on the next
Blood,
page,
blood on the
he dropped,
blood on the poster.
so-
Blood on the poster. Blood on the poster. Blood on the poster.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, I guess then it splatters down onto the thing, and then it hits the ground. He's looking all impressed with himself, and then he's rolling up the carpet. He's grabbing the poster. I would bet. Not that one, but the other one.
Yeah, grab it.
Well, that looks like he's putting it up. There's another one where it's like crumpled a little. So the one where he's taking it off. That one right there.
Yep.
What are you
No,
doing?
he wouldn't take
I'm just
that.
looking.
Okay. Picking up the body. I'm not sure what the hand grabbing the thing is, to be perfectly honest. The hand grabbing the,
This?
yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about.
That's
But,
him opening a door.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure where that goes into it. Maybe the girl's room?
This one?
Oh, yeah, approaching the girl. Yeah, approaching the girl's room.
Approaching the
with
door,
because
or the room, using the thing, scanning the thing. Then... What about the thing dropping? Then...
we haven't gotten to the part where Byakuyo starts meddling with things, so we can take away the extension
I wanna
cord
see
and
that
anything with a visible sleeve.
This one?
Wait, no, yeah, what is that showing? That's the that's the sauna.
That's showing the boys' room.
That's the sauna. No, that's the sauna.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, it's the
Oh,
pool
it's the
area
sauna?
outside of
Oh,
the
it's the
sauna.
sauna.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not right. That's not right. Probably hanging up a poster.
You can do that and oh yeah, that works.
Okay.
And then
Next.
Byakuya comes in,
and decides to screw with everything.
Yeah, he walks in. I think the opening of the door. I think. No, that doesn't make any sense. Using the cord, him holding the cord.
Yeah, him
Because then
holding
in
the
the
cord.
next one, it's
Makes
being
sense.
strung up.
Makes sense.
Writing the thing.
Oh, writing the message.
word.
Yeah, writing the message.
Yep, writing the message. And then he threw a thing. Oh, that one?
This one?
Yeah, maybe that
I
one. Yeah,
think-
because he's standing.
Because he's standing over
outside
the
the sauna.
sauna. And then he throws the thing in there. And then it's the one that
Closes
is
the door
where the
behind it.
sauna is, where the e-handbook is on the ground.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Man, they
think
threw
it's-
quite a
I
few
think it's
dummy
that.
ones at us.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
that.
think it's that too.
Yeah, they threw a few dummies at us this time.
So yeah, there's a number of them. But that looks to be right to me, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
seems good.
that looks right.
The duffel bag is definitely correct. The duffel bag is definitely correct.
Because that's the only scene with Celeste in it, so.
Yeah, and the duffel
Yep.
bag in the hand, and yeah, being open and all that.
Yeah.
Then opening
Yeah.
the door, and the hand isn't the white hand; it's the like the grayed out hand of the killer image thing.
Yeah, like that.
It looks like it's Chihiro's hand, so I think it's that one. Then
Okay.
him going into the boys' room specifically, seeing Mondo. Mondo picking up the dumbbell.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. The blood splattering everywhere, including on the poster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the stamp where it says where they're swiping the card for a sec?
Here?
I want to take a closer look at the color of the sleeve.
It looks like a dark color, like dark black or dark.
That looks black.
It does look black.
Yeah, but it
But
would
it could also be a dark green, possibly.
It could be a dark green, but either way, the only two people we could think that this is, because for the killer, it always has this
Grayed out
this NPC looking
Yep.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the only two people whose it could be, both have the same color clothes, which the other one would be Byakuya.
Byakuya's is like a.
It's
Byakuya's is-
black. Byakuya's is greenish.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different tone than
I
Chihiro's
think
green,
that's
but
fine. I think it's fine. 'Cause
never
it makes
mind, it's
sense
not
that
his-
he would
it's
be
not-
using his thing in order to get into the boys' room.
but it's not Mondo's.
Yeah, it's definitely
hand,
not
because
Mondo.
Mondo's hand would be this one,
Yeah, exactly.
which is
Goes in,
down.
sets the thing down, gets, he's lifting up the thing,
Mhm.
gets hit, blood splatters, grabs the poster, takes the body, goes into the girls' room, hangs up the poster, uses the thing in order to open it,
Uh-huh.
hangs up the poster,
Yep.
Leaves the body.
leaves the body.
Now it's all switched.
Now it's switched.
And
Then
Byakuya
he's
comes in.
coming in specifically with the cord. He, strings it up, writes the message, and there's the message.
Mm-hmm.
And then Act 5 is someone walks into the sauna, throws the thing into the sauna, and lets it be destroyed. My question is how Byakuya would have known that there was a body in the first place. Did he just happen to walk into the girls' locker room?
Yeah, but he's a guy, so why would he do
So
that?
I don't understand that part.
Actually, it would be him happening to walk into the guys.
He would have.
Except this shows the girls' locker room. Oh, no, because Mondo was the one who...
Mondo already switched it.
You're right.
So he
So
would've-
yeah, how would he know?
I mean, he could have just taken Junko or Saya's thing. So he
I mean,
can't-
yeah,
he
but-
would have access.
But how would he
But
know
why would he
that?
have known that he needed to go in there and string something up? And also, why did he bother doing it in the first place? Just to add.
I believe it explains that. Honestly, I feel like I remember it not explaining it completely, but I think it explains it after.
It seems like he just did it to add an extra layer of confusion. Or
So are we good with this?
because
Yeah.
he just really doesn't like Toko and wanted to get her killed or something. I don't know.
So are we good with this?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're good with this.
The killer is you.
We can always just undo it.
Let's take a
Yeah,
look
but
back
it's
to
so
the
much more
40s.
satisfying when you get this part right on the first
Yeah,
try,
I know.
because you get to go through the whole sequence without having messed up.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall.
Or technically, he could have just used Chihiro. Well, actually, no.
No, he couldn't. Chihiro's a guy.
Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
I was about to go the angle of, because now he's a corpse, so it doesn't matter if he takes it, but I forgot.
And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Is that kind of like a Nintendo Switch?
That could have been the end of things.
Sorry.
But no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
I still don't understand why.
Yeah.
Or how.
So,
why he went into the girls' locker room in the first place, and also why
he went and grabbed the
to string
extension
everything up.
cord from the library.
Yeah.
And then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
We got it.
And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
I hate how I'm right.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That ought to reveal itself earlier in the trial. If I could somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, everything will become clear. I think I know what it is. I have to reload instead of just firing. But instead I'm shooting it with him.
Oh. Oh, we're doing this now.
You're wrong. I won't listen. I refuse.
Okay, never mind.
False.
I don't know what it added.
Show me some evidence. I won't
I love
listen.
how Mondo's not even defending himself, and instead it's just
His bro. It's his bro.
I refuse.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False.
You just have to keep
Show
it
me some evidence.
Yeah.
backwards though.
Yeah, that's what it is that I can't see it anymore.
You're
So I just have to keep it. Final strike.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that...
Finally.
Yeah.
Do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
There it is.
Why is it everyone I start to grow attached to dies?
Yeah.
That's how these games go.
Bro, what are you saying?
And then he saved.
And then I saved.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait, hold on.
No waiting. No time for the
Oh, sorry,
moment
I didn't mean
we've
to.
all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you elect
I still don't
as the
understand the
Blackened
concept
this
of a
time
lever.
around?
Yeah.
No one
Yeah,
that makes
it's
you
not
capture
the
them. I don't understand how
Or the
that works.
Yeah, in the
dreadfully
future
wrong
games it
one?
actually
What's it
makes
gonna
more
be?
sense. It's not
What's
just a
it
lever.
gonna be?
I bet one person did not vote for Mondo.
What?
Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Ueda!
I swear, your Monokuma is so good.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotako chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What is
Why
this?
are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it? Oh my gosh, that face.
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Please do.
Actually,
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text.
Thanks, Mondo.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Monokuma.
Anyway, there was once a young boy,
No.
and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness. To take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out.
That's you.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Chihiro.
Nobody. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. That's right. I'm sorry.
But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him. and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger.
I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. Looking at you, Sayaka. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma.
Ouch!
And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma. That's the reveal of the abyss. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma.
Yeah.
Which, of course, was Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge.
Even though he
Even
dresses...
though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
what?
And yet,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I could talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone.
annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, it'll be okay, I'll get better.
With the thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be a good idea to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell the person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me.
Yep, it sure was! The biker gang fellow had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would help make him keep the secret.
Thoughts?
Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to.
Maybe talking to Mono about it will help me give me some courage. So, okay, that's you, technically.
Really? Okay, so he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong.
Oh, that is weird. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mono did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro.
Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see?
Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed.
Dots. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Dots. Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat
How many times
myself.
must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother! Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. That sounds horrible put together.
It does. It really does.
But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul.
I'll do this part. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad.
Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it is. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final... I don't think that counts as killing him. The older brother delivered his final words.
In this type of scenario, he would definitely take responsibility for it. He would feel like he's responsible.
My bad, kid. I screwed up. Sorry.
Of course he knew it was brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm strong. Strong. I added a couple.
And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on a secret.
Mondo killed his own older brother. Sorry, I guess it probably should have been you.
Yeah, because it's still part of his thing.
Yeah.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it would all would have been for nothing. So that's why I
Mondo.
After I saw what Monokuma had on me, I had filled up with all kinds of fuzzy uneasiness, and it just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. But right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Goodness.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden? Huh? Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
Yes. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. Felt like he was exposing that lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
Why?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. Was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had, so I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
Why?
Are you making fun of me?
What?
I'm strong? Are you screwing with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. Felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why do you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you.
You son
and
of a
stronger than
bitch.
Daya. So he made Chihiro go Daya. I'm sorry. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded.
Get that. Look at him. You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't.
You jerk. Just shut up, you son of a gun. Go ahead, say it again. I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now, because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
Punishing?
You mean execution?
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
That's what I promised you, right? Black and that disturb the peace will be punished.
That was
ridiculous.
A gem of a voice clip right there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Armando Owada, ultimate biker gang leader.
No,
He's about to get hit by a car.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Yeah?
Oh dear, here it comes.
Oh boy.
Here it goes.
Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment.
Uh-oh.
Oh. His little hair.
Yeah. The greenness of the hair, too.
Yeah, this game has a very particular aesthetic. It's very stylized.
Oh.
Why?
Because Monokuma's a freaking psychopath, that's why.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
Laugh at death, and your soul will forever be at peace.
That's not how it works. It can't be. My brother.
Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen.
I'm not even going to attempt to imitate that.
As Sokka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to.
What a disappointment. Is this the end of the game?
Byakuya?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this is a game of life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that.
however,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting.
His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone.
Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignore the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to
Well,
be
I
done.
don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You didn't actually witness the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So, you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up.
You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack and Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. But dang, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course.
Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me.
Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become black, and I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
That's messed up, isn't it?
It's pretty freaking messed up, yeah.
Yeah, it's very messed up.
Moving on to saving.
Yep.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why?
Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is meant for mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating.
I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope and despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. Good grief! I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing!
Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how
The noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. This is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Tagami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
That's you.
It's alright.
That's okay. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay.
That's alright.
Temper. That sounds like someone needs a nap. I'll let him handle the laughing.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fine. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtains closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more future than us. Dang, that's quite the...
That is quite an analogy. That sounds like an outside Xbox analogy.
Kind of, yeah. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
I'll just do this one.
Okay.
There's one thing I'd like to ask.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Shut up.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to click.
Thoughts? So that was a thing.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
The end. 10. And then there were 10.
And then there were 10. To be continued.
How well do you still remember the that poem, by the way?
The what?
The 10 Little Indians.
Oh,
Do you
gosh.
still know it?
No.
No? Okay, well, never mind.
No.
That's based off of, it's something from...
It's an Agatha Christie book, where there was a bunch of murders in a similar scenario like this, where all the people were trapped and the culprit's one of them. It's a series of murders, and it's all to a poem called The 10 Little Indians. And it's actually a whole poem, and I don't remember it. It's been too long.
It's a rhythm scheme where
it's been a while since
and then there were 9, and then and then there were 8, and then there were 6.
Yeah,
or whatever. So
yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember all of them. But it's another. It's been too long since I've read that. So
yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Man, that was
yeah, that one was a longer one. I probably should have cut it at some point halfway through.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'll probably cut the episode into 2.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure where. Probably like at the point, maybe at the point where Kyoko has the recess.
That'd be good.
That's probably where I'll do it. But anyway, I'll worry about that in post. See you guys next time.
Yay! Next time.
See ya.
See ya.